Kayla cut the grass.
Hallelujah. Kayla cut the grass, y'all. Made Sean's day. Kayla cut the grass.
It did make my day. Got hold of a fresh cut lawn.
Oh, boy. It's day two. It's day two. And it's the one deal a week challenge. It's day two. We're going to talk about the 5 best off-market ponds to go fishing in. I've got props. I've got visuals. I've got so many case studies and examples. We're just gonna have a ton of fun today, no doubt about it. You can hop into the Zoom room with us, where you can ask questions in the chat. You can engage with others. You'll be able to see the slides that I'm sharing and some of the screen share, etc. Or you can just hang out here. It's totally up to you. But if you want to hang out in the Zoom room, you can still go ahead and register. It's totally free. Just go to onedealaweek.com. You'll get the Zoom link and the other information and details. You'll get invited to the school community, which is where we're putting the replays and all of that good stuff, which day one's replay is already in there. With some bonuses, a session summary, et cetera, et cetera. It's all in there. And you get free access to that all week. But it's more fun if you come and actually engage with the sessions live. And we are T-minus 8 or 9 minutes before we actually go live for the day 2 training. I've got look at this. I mean, we're embracing the fisherman's mentality in every way, shape, or form. I got props. I got go fish cards. I mean, we got all kinds of fun stuff to help you connect the dots and embrace the fact that if we want to get from where we're at as far as production and GCI to where we want to go, we need to embrace this fisherman mentality and the idea that you are just, for as long as you're in this business, you're playing an infinite game of go fish, an infinite game of go fish. And we'll connect more of the dots as to what that looks like and get us closer to actually getting paid, which tomorrow will be, way more in depth and in detail about how we actually get paid using the reverse offer strategy, how we pivot to take listings, not only, not just any listings, but listings that we can sell quickly, in many cases in a weekend, and solving their problem, getting you compensated, maybe a buyer agent compensated, et cetera, et cetera. It's going to be a lot of fun. I can't wait to share. We've got a good crowd already on the live. Let's go. Let's go. And while you're here, you can hang out here if you want, but if you want to come and join in the Zoom room, which I will open up in about 3 or 4 minutes. The link is in the description, or you can go to onedealaweek.com, grab your spot for free. It is absolutely free to join the training. We do have a VIP upgrade option and totally optional. Okay. Totally optional. But yesterday on the VIP session, we dug into a bunch of different things. I actually did some outreach to some of the free portfolio buyers that we gave everyone at the end of yesterday's session. So lots of really good stuff that we're going to dig into. You can hang out here. If you're watching one of the live streams, it's kind of like hanging out in the parking lot and tailgating before the event, which is totally fine. And you can hang out and tailgate during the event. I mean, I go to Phillies games once or twice a year. I go to Penn State games. I used to have season tickets to the Phillies, the Eagles, Penn State, etc. None of that anymore with the 4 kids. But anyway, there are plenty of people that just go and, they pay for the parking and they hang out in the tailgate area. But it's more fun if you come in to the event. So you can come in to the event at onedealaweek.com. Onedealaweek.com. If you're watching on TikTok, the link is in my bio. If you're watching on Instagram, you should be able to click a link there. Otherwise, the link should be in the description. I will open up the Zoom room in 2 or 3 minutes. If you can't tell, yes, I have had my 3rd cup of coffee today. So look out, people. I also have, I got this thing. I got all kinds of props and things because I have found that the more ways we can help you connect concepts and ideas and make them more tangible, the more likely you are to actually implement. And the training and the information I share is valuable, but only if you actually use it. Only if you actually take action, right? And so I want to make it I want to remove as many potential reasons why or roadblocks why you would actually take action and do the work. And I shared this on yesterday's session, but I'll share it here again in case you missed it. Maverick Rashid, I think is his last name. I think it's actually Malik, but he goes by Maverick. An agent in the DC metro area. He was on the 1 Deal a Week challenge in June. Okay, in June. And on day one, just like we did yesterday, we gave away 5 portfolio buyer leads, active cash buyer leads in whatever city or zip code you choose. Okay, we did the same thing yesterday. Maverick went and got those leads. He followed our plan. He reached out to all 5. He talked to 2 of them. One of them he had an appointment later in the week with. One of them he set a listing appointment with the next week. It is now August, whatever, 20th, 18th, 19th, something or other. He has closed one of those transactions and the other one closed yesterday. So I guess technically 2 closed transactions from 5 free leads. 5 free leads that we give all y'all. You can go to leaddeck.ai/buyers. If you missed it yesterday, if you want to go check it out, you go to leaddeck.ai/buyers. You put in the city or zip code of your choice. You hit check the market count or check I forget what the button is, but hit the green button. It'll give you the count. And then if you want 5 for free, you just enter your name and email. That's it. And then we give you the scripts are in there. We give you the workflow, the checklist to follow. It's as simple as this. Hey, Kevin, looks like you're a pretty active investor in blank area. Are you looking for any deals right now? How hard is that? And we gave yesterday, we gave the folks that participated, we gave them, what do you do if they say this, that, or the other thing? We had some great questions, etc. I am going to pop over and open up the Zoom room. If you want to come hang out in the Zoom room with us, just go to onedealaweek.com. On TikTok, you can go use the link in my bio. On Instagram, there should be a link there. And if you're on one of the other platforms, the link should be in the description. I'm going to open up the Zoom room, start welcoming folks in there, and then we will get started in, I don't know, about 3 minutes, looks like. About 3 minutes. Here we go. Let's open up the club. Here we go. Can you turn that down 1 or 2? I'm just worried that it'll get flagged on the streams as whatever.
Recording in progress.
We're rocking in the Lead Deck Worldwide headquarters today. Welcome. As you're hopping into the Zoom room, you can go ahead and introduce yourself again today if you'd like. I mean, why not? Who knows? Maybe you get some referrals going in the chat. And today is going to be a great day. It's going to be a fun day. I have props. I brought props. I've got some great case studies and stories. We're going to dig into the 5 best off-market seller ponds to go fishing in. Tomorrow, we're going to connect all of the dots and show you how to not just go fishing, but actually then turn those fish that you catch into dinner in one way or another. In other words, how do we pivot when it's not a perfect match? We're going to dig into all of that. There were some great questions in the chat yesterday that I missed. It was not intentional. I just didn't see them until I was going back through the chat later in the day yesterday and this morning. So I'm going to kick off when we get started. I'm going to address some of those questions. I mean, some great questions about the day one topic, which was all focused on buyers. Well, actually, we talked about the 3 ways, the only 3 ways that we can get clients as real estate agents. We identified and talked about how we bridge the gap from where we are to where we want to go from a gross commission income perspective. Then we dug into buyers and we had a lot of fun. Also, great VIP session, which I'll share for those who are still interested in upgrading to VIP. There is still time, and you can get immediate access to yesterday's replay. I've got some fun stuff I'm going to do today and tomorrow on those VIP sessions that you might not want to miss out on. We're going to get started here in just about 1 minute. Thank you all as you're hopping in for introducing yourselves in the chat. I saw some familiar faces and I saw some new faces. Rick said, having that double sound others had yesterday. You must be logged in on multiple places or something. I'm not sure. Unless others are having that same problem. I'm not sure what could be happening there. Stieg, my man. Howdy. Sally from Austin. Michael, Port St. Lucie. Paul, good to see you. Deb, welcome, welcome. Rick is from North Alabama. One of my son's buddies, who was on our travel team that I coached for many years, he plays. He is a left-handed pitcher for North Alabama. Christy from Chicago, welcome. Wendy, stack 'em and rack 'em. Let's go. Campbell, welcome. Ronnie from Silver Springs. Dennis, upstate New York, welcome. Okay, the sound is good. Rick, I'm not sure what's happening. It seems like it's not a problem for everyone. It's sometimes, I don't know, sometimes Zoom is trying to log in from two places at once. Like sometimes it's opening up the Zoom app and in the web browser. Maybe that's what's happening. Hunter from Greensboro, Joe from Tampa, Kathy, Scottsdale, Arizona. Welcome. We are going to get started in 1 minute. I'm going to get started in 1 minute. Today is all about sellers, okay? Specifically, the 5 best off-market seller ponds to go fishing in once you've done the work from day one and you've got a good reason to go fishing. I've got some great stories that I'll share and case studies and examples. I'm actually going to build some of these ponds following the best practices. I've got props to help you make more solid connections on some of these concepts. And it's going to be a whole lot of fun all around. If you're watching on one of the other live feeds, you've got 30 seconds to go ahead and grab a spot and come hang out in the Zoom room with us, where you can ask questions and you can engage with the rest of the people participating in the challenge. So here we go. We're ready to rock and roll. It is day 2. And today is all about sellers. Okay. And this is the 1 deal a week, 3-day fast start challenge. It's day 2. We're walking through end to end how you can start closing a deal a week without needing a big ad budget, making a bunch of silly TikTok style videos or social media content, without begging friends and family for business or referrals, without working nights and weekends or doing open houses, without having to pay crazy high referral fees to places like Zillow and all these other places that are all in our pockets to take away from our profitability. What I'm going to share does work and will work if and only if you do the work. Yesterday, I was so grateful that so many of the participants were sharing in the chat their real world examples of this working. So it's not just me that it's working for, it is working for many others as well. So today is day 2, but before we get into the day 2 topic, I want to just take a couple of minutes and review yesterday so that we're all on the same page, and then we'll pivot to day 2. I also want to tell everyone who just hopped on, there were some great questions in the chat yesterday that I missed, not on purpose. There were so many people commenting and so forth that I just missed them. So there are 2 or 3 specifically that I'm going to take the time to address before we get into the day 2 topic. So I just want to acknowledge that. If you were one of those people that asked a great question, you felt like, well, Josh left me hanging, I am going to close the loop on those questions today, both of which we did address in a fair amount of detail in the VIP Hangout, which, since I'm bringing it up, there is still time. You can still sign up for the VIP upgrade. I'll put the link in the chat. You'll get yesterday's replay. And you'll get to get the live interactive today and tomorrow as well. And I've got some great topics for today and tomorrow. Today, an in-process case study, and then tomorrow a case study end-to-end, this entire 3-step process, and how I turned that into a listing that I sold in a weekend. It's going to be a ton of fun and very specific, tactical, actionable items. The replay from yesterday is in the school community. So if you haven't joined the community, you should do that, A, and you should, B, introduce yourself in the pinned chat, which is welcoming you to the challenge. In the classroom section, you can access the replay and the additional resources. Okay, this is all the replay and additional resources from day 1. And if you're in the VIP, you get access to that VIP session and the resources as well. We did a whole bunch of things. I actually did some outreach. I worked through 3 leads, 3 of the same free leads that we gave all of you at the end of yesterday's session. I worked through 3 of them. The first 2, I couldn't find a number that was workable that wasn't on the DNC. That's the bad news. The good news is I've done this enough to know that I got good emails, or I have good emails for them, and it is very likely that I will get a reply from them before the week is out. They haven't replied yet, but I will later this week. I'll send this, this 3 question mark email follow-up, and I get a lot more replies from that. The third lead on there was phone number on the DNC. I followed our best practices. I Google searched it, and lo and behold, that phone number, that cell phone, was associated to a business. It was a lawn care business or something along those lines. I called Joe. I left him a voicemail. I sent him a text. Later today, I'm going to reach back out to him as well. I did that. We covered things like how do I get past overwhelm? How do I pivot? There was lots of great topics in there. Anyway, if you're in the VIP or did the VIP upgrade, that's in there for you as well. Okay, so many of you, Mahmoud, I think it was Mahmoud, in the school chat, DM'd me and said, I'm bought in. I'm all in on this fisherman mindset, right? Because there's really only 3 ways that we can get business: as a shepherd, as a farmer, and as a fisherman. And the beautiful thing is, when you embrace this fisherman mentality, you will get significantly more from being a shepherd and a farmer. And I'm not like, I will actually show you or give you examples of what that looks like for me, and how I am turning results that I'm getting as a shepherd and a farmer into more business using the fisherman mentality and the strategies that we're covering here. We did the exercise where we talked about where you're at, where you want to go, and how we can bridge the gap. And the only certain or guaranteed way I have found to bridge the gap from where you are currently to where you want to go from a gross commission income perspective or a production perspective is to embrace and employ the fisherman mentality. Okay. And we got everybody bought in on this fisherman strategy and mentality. I also, the cookie shop strategy a little bit in the 3 different types of buyers. I like thinking about it like this. More the ATM machine, right? We've got pocket buyers, portfolio buyers, and institutional offers. We're going to dig into the third one, the institutional offers, more tomorrow. And I have a case study that we'll dig into on how I used an institutional offer as a decoy offer and got a listing. Well, I do this all the time, but I'm going to unpack one specific example of that. But I also like to think about this like a tackle box. And this was such a great image yesterday. I mean, look at this. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. Not that one. This one here. I love this visual. Okay. Oh, I didn't put it in here, but this visual of this tackle box, I'll have to get that image loaded in there as well. I just love that visual concept. Okay. So we talked about detailing out your pocket buyers. Put a 1 in the chat if you actually did this work. Put a 1 in the chat if you actually at least spent some amount of time to think about who are the pocket buyers that I have right now. Bonus points if you actually wrote them down or you put them into a Google spreadsheet, whatever. Just at least that you specifically thought about or went through this exercise to some degree. Okay, thank you for those that are dropping those comments in the chat. And then we gave away the 5 active portfolio buyer leads in your market. And I saw that many of you went and grabbed those because we get notified when that happens. Now, what I don't know for sure is how many of you actually did the outreach to have the conversation. But we shared, what to say and what that looks like. The scripts are right in there for you, et cetera, et cetera. Okay, so today is day 2. We're gonna dig into sellers in day 2. Before we do that, I brought some props to help illustrate some of these concepts and to help create connections in your brain that will increase the likelihood that you actually do this and embrace this mentality. So first and foremost, I want you to put a 2 in the chat. Put a 2 in the chat if you agree with this idea that as long as you are in this business, okay, as long as you are in this business, put a 2 in the chat if you're willing to agree to the fact that if I just focus on playing an infinite game, I can't lose. If I just focus on playing an infinite game, I can't lose. Shasha, the replay is in the school community. I'll put a thank you, Wendy, for a bazillion twos. Okay. And so here's what I want to illustrate. Here's one way I want to illustrate this, right? We talked about the fisherman mentality, and I've got some props for that as well. And I'm going to demonstrate that later. But these are, I got this from our game. You know, we have like a cabinet that has games in at home. And these are the cards that we play Go Fish with our children with for many, many years, right? And so for those of you who are, maybe forgot how the game of Go Fish works, is this. It's you and a bunch of other players, and you have a hand of cards that you're trying to match. And you can ask other players if they have, do you have a red, or do you have a, 9 or whatever? And if they don't have it, you can then pick from the pond of fish, okay? When you embrace this mentality, all you're doing is playing this infinite game where you keep adding cards to your hand, and you have an unlimited amount of players that you can play the game with and an unlimited pond that you can play the game with. It's literally unlimited. Now, you use what you have in your hand to dictate the ponds or the players that you're going to ask for a match with, which is what we're going to really dig into today, which is I've got this scenario. Where should I go fishing? What pond should I go fishing in? Mitch and Judy, thank you for introducing yourself and welcome, right? So it's this idea of infinite. I'm playing an infinite game of Go Fish. And here's the thing about this game. The longer you play, the better you get, number one, because you increase your skill the longer you play. And number two, because the longer you play, the more you increase the odds that you have a match. That when you have a conversation, you already have a match. You already have a pair to match them with. So if you just keep playing the game, you can't lose. Alex Hormozi is one of my favorite people. I reference him often. One of my favorite quote cards or whatever is like, do the work, don't quit. Do the work, don't quit. If you do those two things, you can't lose. Eventually, you will win. Eventually, you will win. Eventually, sometimes, let me say this. Sometimes you get lucky, like Karita Cohen, who she was on this same challenge that you're participating in 2 months ago. And one of the stick around bonuses that we gave people who came all 3 days and hung around until the end of day 3 was our for sale by owner playbook. She stuck around to the end. We gave her that. The very first for sale by owner she reached out to, because she followed the playbook, because she was a good active listener, has now turned into 2 closed transactions and 2 more listings. Now, you can say that she got lucky, but I can also say this, that whether or not it was the first one or the 10th one, if she just does the work and doesn't quit, eventually she wins. Play the game. You're playing an infinite game of Go Fish. Excuse me. An infinite game of Go Fish. Now I'm going to save this other prop for later, but literally my wife came home with this fishing set and I was like, this is perfect. So I'm going to share that later. Okay. We'll dig into that later. So let's dig into day 2 sellers. Oh, wait a minute. I almost forgot again. There were two great questions from yesterday that I did not answer only because I missed them in the chat. Number one was from Rick. Okay. And I don't know if Rick is on here. I hope he is. But Rick asked, when you get a seller / portfolio person and they say, yes, I have something to sell. I think he said someone, but I think he meant something to sell. If you don't have anyone yet, what do you say? So basically, you reach out to one of the portfolio buyers that we gave you yesterday, and you follow our process. Okay, you follow our process, which is, hey, Sean, it's Josh with eXp Realty. It looks like you're a pretty active investor here in the Harrisburg area. Are you looking for any deals right now? And he says no. Okay, great. Will you be looking to add to your portfolio anytime in the next 6 to 12 months? He says no. I don't care. I'm going for 3 no's. I'm going for 3 no's. In this go fish analogy, here's what I'm doing. I've got this set of cards and I ask player 1, do you have a match? He says no. I ask player 2, do you have a match? He says no. Okay, well, I'm just going to pick from the pond. So I ask him the magic question. Do you have anything in your current portfolio you would consider an offer on? He says, yes, actually, I do. What do you do if you don't have a pocket buyer or a portfolio buyer or an institutional offer? Well, number one, when you take us up on the offer that we're going to make you tomorrow to be participate in our accelerator program, you will always have a possible solution because you'll always have either a portfolio buyer or an institutional offer as a possible solution for them, even if you don't have a pocket buyer right now. But let's say you truly don't have any of those options right now. We tell the truth. Okay, great. I'm not sure if I have anybody who's looking for that right this minute. Let me do a little, let me get to work a little bit here, and I'm going to get back to you later today or tomorrow morning. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to look at, okay, what portfolio buyers are there available in this area, and or are there institutional offers that might be a good fit? So we just tell the truth, right? We just tell the truth and let them know, hey, I'm going to get to work on your behalf and I'll get back to you. And the fact that you're working on their behalf before you ever have a listing conversation or this, that, the other thing, you talk about compensation, these, it makes them more likely to be compelled to do business with you if or when that time comes. Jackie, do these portfolio buyers refer to themselves as portfolio buyers? 100% no. That's our verbiage. That's our vernacular. We don't call them portfolio buyers. We describe them as portfolio buyers as part of what we do, as part of, our one deal a week blueprint in this process, et cetera, because they own a portfolio of properties and they're actively buying. So that's just our way of describing them, right? So it's our vernacular. We have pocket buyers, people that are in our pocket. We have portfolio buyers, okay, which are these, what we described there. And then we've got the institutional buyers or institutional offers. That's a great question. Okay, so that was Rick's question. It's a great question. By the end of the day tomorrow, you will see how you, in almost every instance, if you don't have a match right now, in other words, when they say, yes, this is what I have, if you don't have one, in almost every case, I will demonstrate to you how you could have one, or in some cases, multiple potential options or solutions for them within hours or a day. Great question from Rick yesterday. I'm sorry that I missed it. The second question, and it seemed like several people had this same sort of question or objection, which is these portfolio buyers, these investors, they all want properties at 60% of the value. They want these deep, deep discounts. And so I want to address that in a couple of different ways. One with anecdotal evidence, one with actual evidence. And then also, I want to point out something which I'm going to demonstrate in more detail with real examples here when we dive into these 5 ponds, or we start fishing these 5 ponds. Is this number one? Yes, some of the investor buyers are looking only for deep discounts. Okay, number one, and that is I won't say that none of them fit that. Many of them are wholesalers who are looking to just assign the property for a fee. That is not the portfolio buyers. That's not the people that we're talking about. Yeah, we're talking buy and hold, or the actual principles in the transaction. So will you get that sometimes? Yes, but you just got to talk to more people. Just talk to more people and you will find the people that are paying closer to the fair market value right here and now. Okay. That's my anecdotal personal experience. Then I come in and Sean and I are talking about some of these questions that I missed yesterday. And Sean mentions to me that because we have all the data as far as transactions and everything, we have all the data available to us. And he ran a scenario, or ran the algorithm, and he just picked Orlando. because his buddy lives in Orlando, I think is why he picked Orlando. And looked at, was it the last 90 days, 12 months?
Last 12 months.
Last 12 months, okay? In Orlando, last 12 months, cash buyer transactions where it was a portfolio buyer buying the property. So we're not talking about the boomer who sold their property in Pennsylvania, took the cash and bought a property in Orlando. That's not who we're talking about. We're talking about portfolio buyers. Last 12 months, bought in cash in Orlando, the average ARV of those transactions was 86%, not 60%. So I share that to say that some of that is your own limiting belief that is stopping you from just having conversations with people that are likely to transact one way or another. So we need to get past that and beyond that. And then the third thing I'll say to that is, although on day one, I talk a lot about, and we give you portfolio buyers, and those are typically investors, this blueprint and the fisherman's mentality and the reverse offer strategy, 100, 1 million, 1,000, whatever, works with retail buyers. I have 2 examples today of retail buyers that one came from me acting as a shepherd, one came from me acting as a farmer, and I'm going to connect the dots with how I take those people and use them as bait to go fishing in the 5 ponds that we're going to walk through starting right now. Okay. So how's that for a tee it up? If you're excited, put a Y in the chat. Put a Y in the chat. It's hard to be as excited as me. I'll say that, but drop a Y in the chat if you're excited. So here we go. Day 2, the top 5 off-market seller ponds. Now, before I get into these, I'm going to state very obviously or very emphatically that some of these are obvious. But when you use a better strategy and a better approach, you get dramatically, exponentially better results. Because you've taken what is a red ocean and you've created your own blue ocean. If you use better strategy and a better approach. So I've got 5. I have 2 bonus ones as well, which may be applicable to some of you, not all of you. But let's go ahead and dig in. So we've got for sale by owners, for rent by owners, expired listings. Now, we like here at the Lead Deck Worldwide headquarters, we like aged expired listings because there is less competition for them. They've cooled off a bit. They may not be getting inundated by other agents saying, I know why your house didn't sell, or when are you ready to interview the right agent to get your home sold? Which, by the way, even if you use our approach and strategy, specifically the reverse offer strategy, if you use them on new expired listings, you will still have more success than those other, I'll call them knuckleheads in your market that are just trying to browbeat people into listing with them. Like, nobody wants that. That's the third pond, pre-foreclosures, and then tired landlords. Those are our 5 ponds. Nothing new or radical here. But when we marry the work we did on day 1 and a better approach and a better strategy, we can get infinitely, maybe not infinitely, exponentially better results with these audiences, okay? And then all we're doing is we're taking the bait that we identified on day 1. We're identifying which pond or ponds am I going to stock to then go fishing in. That's all we have to do. So for me, I'm going to use 3 examples literally from this week to demonstrate how we go about identifying which ponds and then stocking those ponds with the fish that we're going to throw the bait in for. Number 1 is a portfolio buyer that is now a pocket buyer for me. Okay, so that is very specifically more of an investor scenario. But the second 2 that I really want to emphasize, and one in particular that I'm going to go deep with and walk through exactly what this looks like, both are retail buyers. one that came from me acting as a shepherd, because even though, just because I embrace the fisherman mentality doesn't mean that I also don't get business as a shepherd and a farmer. It's just that those are reactive and the fisherman is proactive. Okay. And I'm not going to just wait around for business to find me. I'm going to go make or create business opportunities. Okay. One of them, her name is Jeanette. She would be, I would call her, a client from farming. She's been in my database for quite a while. She originally opted in, I don't even know how long ago, but we've been engaging. I've been using some of my my monthly campaigns and so forth. And she responded to me last week to an email I sent because I saw that she was looking at listings, or there was some reason she had looked at a listing or something or other. And so I sent her a simple email to which she told me her buy box. She told me her exact buy box. I'm looking for this many bedrooms, this many bathrooms in this price range in this school district. And I need to find that before we sell the house that they're currently living in. I've got great bait. I have a pocket buyer. Her name is Jeanette. I know exactly what she's looking for. Now I can get to work on identifying which of these ponds do I want to go fishing in. I stock the ponds and then I go fishing, right? So I'm going to use this analogy here, right? So I'm going to stop the screen share. This is too fun not for me to share. So my wife comes home yesterday from work. She works with kids and she's got this fisherman playset, right? So Jeanette for me is now the bait that I can throw on my fishing rod. And this here is one of the ponds. Now it's not stocked right now. It's empty. But when you use better strategy and you know what the buy box is, I can stock the pond with fish. Now I got a pond with fish that are exactly what she's looking for. The only thing left to do is to cast into the pond. Sean's laughing. I don't know if any of you are smiling on that. That was great questions we're going to get to. So what does that mean practically, right? So how do we take, you're having fun, whatever. How do we take this and make it real? Okay. And by the way, I have another one that actually, he literally texted me during the VIP hangout. This guy is a result of farming. The neighborhood that I live in, which I recently sold a property in 3 days. We had 27 showings, 9 offers, etc. And so I've been telling the story through direct mail. And this guy's been in my pocket for a while. Like he's been a saved contact in my pocket for a while. He gave me his exact buy box yesterday. Now it is a very specific buy box. So specific that I don't know if I can find fish to stock a pond for him, but I'm going to try. Okay. So what does this actually look like in practicality? Okay. Well, if I've got Jeanette, I know what she's looking for, I would start with, are there any for sale by owners in my market? That might be a good fit for what she's looking for. How do I find those? I go and I look on Zillow, or I use fizzbonanza.com, which, by the way, for those of you that are in our Founders Club or in our accelerator program, you've got a lead deck license, etc. Before too long, I'm going to say in a matter of days or at most weeks, you'll be able to get a direct feed of for sale by owners right into lead deck with no credit usage, completely free. So with days or at most a couple of weeks. Okay. But that's where I start. Are there any for sale by owners that fit what Jeanette is looking for? Well, I mean, let's stop talking in theory. Let's actually look. Okay. Because I've got Jeanette. I know the price range, and I know the number of bedrooms and bathrooms, and I know what school district she wants to be in very specifically. And I've already done the other stuff, right? I put her in my MLS. I set her up on a search alert, all that stuff. Like that's done. But I don't play MLS roulette or MLS blackjack, right? Or MLS slot machine. I don't just put somebody in there, pull the lever, and hope I hit the jackpot. I'm going to go and create the result. Why? Why? Because when I do that proactively, a number of things happen. In fact, this is so important. This is not in my presentation, but this is so important. I'm gonna double tap on this. So I would take some notes on this if you've got something to take notes on. Okay. When I have Jeanette, pocket buyer, retail buyer, she has a property she needs to sell, and I know her buy box. I am going all in for her. Why? Number one, by doing that and documenting back to her all of the work I'm doing on her behalf, it solidifies the fact that she's going to work with me. Now, there are no guarantees, and it's not 100%, but I'm drastically increasing the odds that she will work with me when I am the one that isn't just putting her in the MLS and pulling the slot machine. I am proactively doing work on her behalf. But I've got to document that so I'm demonstrating to her the value I'm providing. That's number one. And in this case, it's at least 2 transaction side opportunities, at least 2. She's got a property she needs to sell, and she'll be buying one. Now, the one that she needs to sell, I'm going to turn that into more. And the one that she needs to buy or would like to buy, I'll probably turn that into more as well. But at least, at a minimum, 2 transaction sides. That's the first benefit. The second benefit is I know with certainty in almost every case that I do this work, that I go all in on her behalf, it creates more clients for me because she can only buy one property. Or in this case, she's only going to buy one property because she's a retail buyer. But I'm going to have conversations with 5, 10, 15, 20, 25 property owners that I can turn some number greater than 0 into other client opportunities. Please don't lose sight of the fact that when you go deep like this for a client, there are so many benefits to you beyond just actually providing more value to them, which that's not a bad thing. The other benefit, I'll say one more benefit, is when you do this work for them and you document and demonstrate and you help them get that end result, do you think they're more likely to send you warm referrals? Which again, though I don't rely solely on business as a shepherd and a farmer, I certainly like it. I'm not going to say no to it. Valentina, I said that's coming soon. So the for sale by owners in lead deck is coming soon. In the meantime, we do have a manual process that is free that I can walk you through. That we have. In fact, I think it's in Launchpad. But regardless, what does this actually look like? Okay, how am I going to build a pond or ponds to go fishing for Jeanette? There is a very specific school district that she wants to be in. It's called Mechanicsburg Area School District. I forget the reason why. I think it has something to do with her grandchildren. It doesn't matter. Okay. And so these are the 3 for sale by owners that are available right now. So there are 3. However, she said she wants a 4-bed, at least 4 bedrooms, at least 2.5 baths. These say 3, 2. And I could say, well, boo-hoo, I struck out. Or I could reach out to them and say, is there any possibility for a 4th bedroom? Because this is just pulling public record data. So I could go fishing right here. And for sale by owners, we go fishing by saying, are you still accepting offers? Yes or no? They say yes. Okay, if I brought you an acceptable offer, would you be willing to pay a finder's fee? They say yes, no. Do you have a buyer? What's the offer? Well, I actually have a buyer. So I can, with more conviction, communicate with this for sale by owner. I actually do have a potential buyer. Her name is Jeanette. It seems like your property might be a good fit. Do you have do you have like 2 minutes for a quick chat? I just need to clarify a couple of things based upon some of the details she gave me of what she's looking for. Different conversation, different approach, better strategy. It also makes them more likely to list with me if or when this isn't a perfect match for Jeanette, which is the odds are against it being a perfect fit. But I have a better reason to have a conversation. And if we have more reasons to have conversations, it gives us more conviction and confidence in having those conversations. And conversations are the number one KPI if you want to write more contracts and close more transactions. Number one, undefeated, undisputed heavyweight champ of selling more real estate. Have more conversations with people that are more likely to transact now or in the near future. Pond number one. Sometimes there are fish that we can stock the pond with and get fishing. Sometimes they're not. But we just go through this process. Pond number two. What was pond number two? Pond number two was for rent by owners. Okay. And actually, before we go to for rent by owners, with today's replay, I will be including an interview I did with the one and only Karita Cohen, who, again, I mentioned her at the beginning. I'm not going to take too much time, but I did a deep dive interview with her. You'll hear in her words how she connected with this for sale by owner, and that is now turned into 2 closed transactions and 2 more listings. What that looked like, how that worked, the reasons why she got that opportunity, and all of that. I will be including that with the replay and a deep dive with Maverick, and he'll unpack how he turned the 5 portfolio leads that we gave you yesterday into 2 closed transactions. And there's a great success story of Cindy, who in her first week of joining our accelerator program took a listing and got a retainer fee when she took the listing. There's another great story in there of Karen Stewart, who she went fishing in one of the other ponds that we're going to get to here in a couple of minutes. She got a bite. She connected with that. She got the fish on board, basically. She connected with that fish, and it uncovered 5 more, a portfolio of 6 properties, which she has now used as a reason to have more conversations. And she's got a whole bunch of transaction sides in the pipeline. There's a whole bunch of them in there. I'm gonna include that entire playlist where you can see in real life for people just like you in all different markets, in all different situations, at all different price ranges, etc., with the goal of you seeing that this can and does work if you do the work. No matter your market may be different, and also this will still work. Getting a little excited. Anyway, for rent by owners, okay? For rent by owners. One simple strategy for this. You go to Zillow, okay? I still have Mechanicsburg Area School District, but I'm going to change it to for rent. And I'm going to change property type to houses because she only wants a house. And we're going to leave it at entire place. And now I've got 1, 2, 3, 4. And I'm eyeballing this. The reality is I'm not sure that any of these will actually work for her because she's looking for a single family detached 4-bedroom with 2. Maybe this one, although it says 3. I would call this one and say, number one, I see that you're listing your house for rent by owner. Is there any chance you'd consider an offer on it? I've got a client, Jeanette, who's looking to buy in Mechanicsburg School District, and it looks like your property might fit what she's looking for. What do we do when they say no? Okay, great. Do you have any other properties in your portfolio that you would consider an offer on? We're just playing an infinite game of go fish. An infinite game of go fish. It's fun. Games are fun. Let's have fun. It doesn't look like, at least from this one strategy, this one pond, that there are any opportunities for Jeanette. Win some, lose some. Next. Actually, before we get to next, this is one of the other case studies that will be included with the replay of this. This is Victoria Akhmedova, I think is how you pronounce her name. She is right here, okay? She's right here. We did a challenge like this for an office in Nashville a couple of weeks ago. The very first day of the challenge, Vic got the same portfolio buyers that you all could get access to yesterday. The very first one She called. She asked, are you looking for any deals right now? Not really. Are you looking to add to your portfolio anytime in the next 6 to 12 months? No, not really. We only have a property down there because we had bought it for our son who was going to school, this, that, and the other thing. Okay. Would you consider an offer on the property at the right price and terms? Well, actually, we've been trying to decide whether or not we should rent it out again or if we should sell it. She put together an analysis that made the case for why he would consider or should consider selling versus renting it out. She got the listing. It may by now be under contract. I haven't checked in a couple of weeks. That will be in the case study vault that I will share with the replay here. For rent by owner. Expired listings, specifically aged expired listings. What do I do here? I'm going to talk you through it and then I'll walk you through it. So what I do here is I have the buy box. I know what she's looking for. I will go into my MLS and I will go back. So I usually will start 90 days back and farther. And how much farther back will just be determined by how many potential results can I find, right? So if I go 90 to 180 days and I've got 10 or 25, maybe 50 aged expired listings that I can build stock a pond with, okay? I can just get to work on stocking a pond with them. I may stop there. If I need more, I'll just extend the window back. Now with LeadDeck, we can take these expired listings, export them, import them into LeadDeck. It'll skip trace. You can AI search whether or not they've been relisted or sold, etc. And then you can literally just start tapping to text, tapping to call, whatever. Or you can do the work manually. Okay. So like you can do this work one way or the other. What does it actually look like? I'll show you quickly in Bright MLS, which may or may not be relevant to you if you've got a different MLS, but you can follow the steps, even if the exact, how it looks is a little bit different. So I go search. I know that she is looking in Mechanicsburg School District, which by the way, I did this quickly earlier. I don't know if it was this morning or last night because it all runs together for me. But I'm going to deselect active and coming soon because I'm already sending her those. I'm going to choose expired and canceled. Okay. She wants a 4+ bedroom. She wants 2+ baths. She wants detached. She's okay with 1 or 2 stories. We don't want new construction. So I'm going to say new construction, no. And then I want to go back. I'm going to go 90 to 500 days back. And I'm only doing that because I already looked at this and there just aren't that many because properties in this school district tend to sell quickly, even when there's whatever. Oh, there's 22. That's more than when I searched earlier. But right now, look, I have a pond. I have 22 properties that I can stop. Oh, that's why it was. Hold on. I forgot her price range. Aha, that's why. So she wanted she wanted up to 500,000. So I'm putting 8. Okay. That's a small pond, but it's also a pond that I can realistically work. I can work this pond in 1 hour. And I know with confidence that because I'm using a better strategy and a better approach, if I go fishing, I stock this pond. Okay. I stock the pond with 8 fishies. I've got the bait that they wanted originally, which is someone to make them an offer. And I go fishing in the pond. I know from doing this work that will take me probably 30 to 45 minutes to fully fish that entire pond. And I also know that in almost every case, there is some business opportunity that comes from it, one way or the other. Pond number 3. Where else can we look? Oh, by the way, one of the other case studies that I'll share with the replay is with Stephanie. She went and found an aged expired listing. And using our fisherman mentality and the 1 deal a week blueprint and the reverse offer strategy, she used that as bait to reach out to the active multifamily portfolio buyers in her market. She reached out to 4 of them. She talked to 3 of them and unlocked like 7 or 8 potential listing opportunities. Better strategy, better approach. You'll hear the entire breakdown. If you want to go through that, I will put that with today's replay. Pre-foreclosures. Okay, pre-foreclosures, which by the way, Sean, what's our gift today? Is it pre-foreclosures or tired landlords? Tired landlords, okay. All right, well, pre-foreclosures is another great pond to go fishing in. Now, it's a little bit different, okay? It's a little bit different than these and these, right? For sale by owners and expireds, they actively told the world, we'd like to sell. Pre-foreclosures have not necessarily, but there are real reasons to believe that at some point they may need to sell. And when you're coming to them, and just to be clear, do not, at least in my experience, don't bring up the fact that they're not paying the bank, this, that, and the other thing. Bring them what they want if they have come to the reality of the need to sell, which is someone that's going to pay them money to solve their problem, which in my case is Jeanette. And I'm actually going to demonstrate real quick how we build these ponds, how we stock these ponds to go fishing in with Lead Deck. I'm going to demonstrate real quick in a minute or two, just to show you, why and how we built this to make it easier to go fishing. But there are free ways for you to find these people in your market. And there are free resources you can use to find their contact info, etc. If you have more time than money, that's what you should do. And one of the mantras that we have in the Shanley household is FIO. FIO, figure it out. If this sounds like a good pond that you want to go fishing in, figure it out in your market. Go to Claude, go to ChatGPT. Hey, where can I find the list of people in pre-foreclosure in this area? Figure it out. In the case study vault that I'm going to include with the replay is Karen's story. And I got so excited because I had no idea she was going to share this. And she shared it on one of our accelerator group coaching calls a couple of weeks ago. And I had no idea this was coming. I got so excited because Karen is very new to the business. And she didn't have much of a database. She didn't have any past clients. She didn't really have much of a sphere of influence because she's in a market where she didn't grow up and she hasn't been there for long. And so when she shared, hey, I went fishing pre-foreclosures, I got a bite, I connected with the seller. I can't remember the seller's name. She has 5 more properties that she wants to sell. What do I do now? Well, we're going to go fishing. We're going to use that as the bait to go fishing the portfolio buyers. She got a bite there and she's been, and I need to check in with her transparently, but at last check, she had been working together to facilitate a transaction that would be somewhere between 6 and 12 potential transaction sides for her. Not too shabby. Tired landlords. I love talking to tired landlords. I can't remember. I think this was on the VIP session yesterday, not the live session, but CJ came in later in the day yesterday. CJ, the third tired landlord that he reached out to, which by the way, CJ is not licensed. He has very minimal real estate experience. Sean stocked him a pond of tired landlords for him to go fishing. The third time he threw the line out in the water, the third cast, he got a bite, Teresa and Carlo. And I have sold 1, 3 more under contract, and 1 we're doing some light renovations on, and we'll sell it in a weekend. Probably not next weekend, probably the weekend after, although that might be Labor Day weekend, maybe a weekend after that, whatever. We're going to sell that one too. We have 2 settlements next week. So one of them closed, 2 settle next week, 1 settles in a couple more weeks, and the other one was all from one conversation from the third cast into a pond of tired landlords, which by the way, this is our free gift for today, which is we're going to give you 5 of these in the market of your choice, and I'll demonstrate how you can get them in a few minutes before we wrap up today's live training, okay? And I want to make sure that we have time for Q&A. John is actually on here. This is a message that John has sent to me. This is one bite from a tired landlord. Now, I don't know that anything came from this, but it is proof of concept that these folks are people that are worth talking to, because at any given time, they're ready, willing, and able to transact. They're doing something. So this is one tired landlord. The tired landlord said no to the property she was reaching out about. In other words, she reached out to the tired landlord and said, hey, would you consider an offer on your property at 123 Main Street? He said no, but they had a $1.5 million that they may want to sell. He was in the process of potentially moving in another tenant. He wanted to take those proceeds and buy a lake home to use as a short-term rental. He also wanted to start or grow an inventory of Section 8 rentals, so long-term rentals. One conversation, multiple potential transaction sides. That is the value in talking to tired landlords. And I guarantee, listen up here, the same objection that you may be having in your brain of, well, the same objection from yesterday, or don't these people, they only want to buy for 60% or 60 cents on the dollar. I'm telling you, there are tired landlords in virtually every price range and type of property in virtually every market. Now, there may be some exceptions, and sometimes it's like 2 or 3, but man, that's a good, I'll go after those 2 or 3 and see what opportunity there is. And in a couple minutes here, I'll demonstrate how we can find the tired landlords that own properties that fit Jeanette's criteria using Lead Deck. Okay. I'm gonna do that in a minute, and I'm gonna cover the free gift we have for you today. But before we do, the other 2, the bonus ponds. I kind of hinted at this, but I want to say it explicitly. The portfolio buyers that we gave you yesterday, those could be some of the best seller leads you could possibly find. In my personal experience, I'll just share with the last couple weeks, I have connected with, in the last 2 weeks, I've connected with 4 portfolio buyers that have now converted into pocket buyers. They've graduated, right? Because portfolio buyer is someone that I don't know, I haven't connected with. Pocket buyer is I've connected, I know their buy box, etc. In the last 2 weeks, it's been 4 of them. That is from literally 2 hours worth of effort. I've connected with 4 of them. 2 out of the 4 also have a property they want to sell. One of them later this month, he's ready to get serious. One of them in September. They can be some of the absolute best seller leads you could imagine. For example, a month ago yesterday, on the VIP session, I reached out to a guy named Ashwin. He was one of the free portfolio buyers, just like we gave you yesterday. His number was on the DNC. I Google searched his number. It came up with this franchising company. That's good enough for me. I call him. He answers. I ask him the question, are you looking for any deals right now? He says, yes. What do you got? It just so happened that I had some pocket sellers that I told him about. He said, I'm not really interested in that because they're older properties and he doesn't like that. He told me exactly what he was looking for. But before we hang up, I asked, do you have anything in your current portfolio? He says to me, yes, actually, I'm looking to sell this. I have one that I'm looking to sell, but not for a couple of weeks. And so actually this week, maybe tomorrow, maybe on the VIP session today, I'll reach back out to him to see where he's at with that one. Number 7, the second bonus pond. If you do have a database and you have old dead seller leads, this can be some of the best fishing there is. I mean, just the best. This is like that pond, way out in the country that like nobody knows exists because it's all overgrown, and you could literally throw anything in the pond and they're biting. If you've got old cash offer request leads or home value request leads, etc., those could be some of the best. That can be some of the best fishing there is. Okay. And Cindy, this is also in the case study vault. Cindy got a listing in her first week in our accelerator program, which I'll share tomorrow, more details on what that is and how that works. And for those that are interested, how you can join. Her first week in the program, from an old unconverted seller lead, she took a listing, and that listing also, by the way, paid her a retainer fee. of $1,000. Pretty good. Pretty good. Brianna, again, also in the vault. She has used this strategy and specifically the playbook that we call the magic number playbook to pick up. She picked up 15 million in new listing volume in a couple of months using that strategy, using just our reverse offer strategy and the magic number playbook. Garland, Fernando, participants in our accelerator program as well. These are results from them fishing the pond of old unconverted seller leads. And then there's my 19-year-old son, Caden, who was home for some of the summer. He was bored early in the summer. So I loaded up 35 old dead seller leads from my CRM. We built that pond for him in Lead Deck, and he went fishing, and he got seven that replied and turned into some warm activities, some warm opportunities for me. Okay. All right. So there's some great questions. I promise I'm going to get into all of those. What I want to do first, though, is I want to show you in Lead Deck, Rosanna. I hope I'm saying that right. I'll get to your question in a minute. I want to show you how easy it is to build some of these ponds in Lead Deck, and then I'm going to show how you can get your gift for today. Okay. So I'm going to continue to use Jeanette as my use case. And I know that she's looking in this zip code because this zip code is that school district. She's looking for single family. She wants at least 4 bedrooms, and she wants between 300 and 500,000. And we need at least 0.25 acres, let's say. A quarter of an acre. She said, that would be fine. 23 tired landlords. I would love to stock that pond and get rolling. We've got 1 vacant out of that bucket. We've got 5 inherited, 8 out-of-state absentee owners, 13 that haven't paid their taxes. And to be clear, these are property owners that have at least a 4-bedroom, single-family home in the school district in the price range that she's looking for. Talk about stocking a pond that's perfect for me to go fishing in. And oh, by the way, all of these I would love to take the listing on because I have a process for helping those folks, a process that I call our 7-day stress-free home sale, which we're going to talk about in more detail tomorrow. I have a documented process that I am confident that we can sell quickly for max value, which is what most of them are going to want when it's not a match. Okay, when it's not a match for Jeanette. And oh, by the way, there are also 2 pre-foreclosure leads that are at the notice of sale point. I might go fishing for those. I might stock this pond and go fishing for those in the VIP hangout today. We'll see. Now, the free gift that we have for you today. Okay, and then we got great questions. I promise we'll get to all your questions. The free gift we have is you can do this on your laptop, but I think you'd better off doing it on your phone. Okay, go to your preferred web browser, and I have to log out first because I'm logged into my Lead Deck account because I use the thing. I do the thing. Oh, no, I am logged out. Okay. Go to leaddeck.ai/sellers. Okay. I'm going to paste that in the chat as well. Go to leaddeck.ai. Whoops. That's not right. It didn't copy over. Hold on. leaddeck.ai/sellers. Okay. It looks like this. Very similar to yesterday. But notice 5 free motivated seller leads in your market. Okay. Now, yesterday I pulled Lemoyne, PA. So I'm just going to I'm going to pop in the same city.
So
Tiny city. Tiny. I don't know what the population is, but it is very small. Okay. You can put the city or zip code, check my market. I get the count. I put name, first name, last name. I put address. Okay. I'm going to put this so I know that this was a test. Lemoyne, TL, because they're tired landlords at gmail.com. And I'm taken to a page where I can literally start tapping to call. Now I can take a guided tour or I can skip and I can literally just start tapping to reach out. which, by the way, I know this person for whatever that's worth. I don't know why I said that, but he's well known in the area. But I've got these tired landlords that I can literally start tapping to call, tapping to text, tapping to email. I've got the script right there. Okay. All right there for you, a pond that you can build and stock in a matter of seconds and get to work on fishing. Any city or zip code you choose. And if you get if you get the 0 count or a low number count, when you do that, just go back, put in a different city or zip code and grab those. Okay. What script do you use for tired landlords? Valentina, everything that you, God, I love you, Valentina. Everything you ask, or it's always in your Lead Deck account. It's under Launchpad. All of these things are directly in there for you, all in one place. She's in our Founders Club. What does the score mean? Rick, great question. What does the score mean? That is what we call our seller signal. Our seller signal. It is a score that is based upon 800 data points on over 11 million properties. And it's an algorithmic number that is the likelihood for them to sell in the next 3 to 6 to 9 months. Does that guarantee anything? Of course not. But it's interesting and valuable. It does not change my behavior. In other words, if they're 99 or 50 or 33, I'm throwing the line out. I'm calling them, I'm texting them, I'm emailing. No matter what, I'm doing the work, because an algorithm doesn't always reflect real life. Okay? So the score goes to 100. 13 is low? Yes, it is. Who cares though? I'm telling you, who cares? Because something may have happened last night in their house. That means that regardless of what the score says, they've changed, that something has changed that makes them more likely or interested in the potential to consider an offer. Where do you find the tired rental? We pay for all of the data, Mitch. We with what we've built, we have national data. We pay for the best data available. It's literally the same data that whatever. You can name all of the data providers, PropStream, PropWire, Prop blah blah whatever, Remine, etc. We have the same data. We pay for the same data. Yep. It's the courthouse data, right? So the data, it is the best data that exists, but it's like, it's dependent upon how the courthouse reports it and so forth. What if you don't have a buyer to give an offer to a seller? Samantha, number one, I'm thinking, are there portfolio buyers that might be interested in this property? Because I can go find those. Number two, tomorrow, for those of you who are interested, I'll show you how you can get institutional offers that will get you instant preliminary offers on, I'll say, 90% of residential properties in the United States. So there is a solution for that. But keep in mind, think about it this way, though. Keep in mind, if you're following the blueprint, I'm reaching out and I already have a buyer. I have Jeanette. So if you don't have a buyer, and that's something that is going to keep you from, if that's going to create call reluctance for you, or if that's going to create some sort of resistance, get the buyer first. And it doesn't have to be your buyer. I don't know if you were on yesterday, but it could be somebody else in your office, which by the way, I meant to say this earlier, but I'm not going to let this go because I don't want to forget to do this now. If you're a team leader, the analogy I made about playing the game of Go Fish, that is the game you should be playing with your team. Every day, like I would do this Monday through Thursday. We're playing Go Fish. We get together and we've got everybody on the team has a hand. And most team leaders have a big pond as well. So we've got a bunch of people around playing a game of Go Fish. Everybody's got a hand. Some people's hands have 3 cards. Some of them have 10 cards. Some of them have 1 card. Some of them have 30 cards. And then we've got a big pond that we can go fishing in as well. Talk about a more effective and efficient way to increase the production of your team. I mean, I can't think of a better, more productive way to proactively increase the production of your team by giving your entire team more reasons to have more conversations, because it is the undisputed heavyweight champ of selling more real estate, which is if we have more conversations with people that are likely to transact and we have the solutions to help them transact. I mean, compensation, commissions. Okay, other questions. Rosanna, I don't know if you got your question answered. A buyer typically only buy one home, leaves other opportunities for sales. 100%, Tony. 100%. Jeanette's only going to buy one house. And yet, if I stock a pond of 25 expired listings and 5 of them say, yes, we're still accepting offers, what do you have? I've got Jeanette and I've got institutional offers that I can get preliminary offer figures for in a matter of seconds. And I'm having a better, different, more powerful conversation with them. And when I lead with what they actually want, I'm leading with the cookie or the bait that they're going to bite on. I'm more likely to be able to reel them in and get them in the boat one way or the other. Man, I'm crushing it on these fishing analogies right now. You know, if I'm being modestly. Let's see here. You need more toys. I need more props. I mean, more props. Yeah. I was so excited when I came in with props today. I think Sean thought I was a crazy person, but whatever. I think he thinks that regardless. You didn't get an updated old list. Yeah, John, it's not automated as of now. I did that for you because you were participating in the Accelerator program. But if you go into Launchpad, there's a process for that in there. And soon, again, days, best case scenario days, worst case scenario weeks. There'll be a way to get a live feed updated twice a week with for sale by owners absolutely free if you have a lead deck license. Rosanna, if we do the free plan, how much is e-credit? I didn't see that. We definitely did not get that email. I'm not sure where that went because I'm pretty obsessive about email, but I'll get back to you. So you can fish sellers with your colleagues' buyers. Why not? Why not, Jackie? So you can fish sellers with your colleagues' buyers. Why not? If they're not going to do it, why not? I think it's better if they're yours, but I'm just trying to illustrate the fact that there are no excuses. There's no excuses not to do this. You're going to, you can find reasons not to. And every one of them, I can give you a reason why you should and can. Right. So it's just these made up thoughts and things that but they're just made up misbeliefs. If you call, Sean, can you check how many people yesterday actually reached out to any of the portfolio buyers? Okay. So if you actually reach out to the 5 portfolio buyers and you actually do the entire process, which means, you find every reason why, if they're on the DNC, why you might be able to still reach out to them. You follow the entire process and you go after all 5 of those, you're going to have, or I can't guarantee it, but for most of you, you are going to end up with a person that is then the reason why you can just start going fishing. You can build your ponds and go fishing. Maverick did this a couple of months ago. He has now closed 2 transactions from 5 of them.
What was your question?
How many yesterday who got the buyers?
33 people got
33 of you got free buyers, portfolio buyers.
What's the next question?
How many actually worked a lead?
Oh, worked? 1, 2, 3, 6.
6. Okay. 20%-ish.
Only 1 call on 1 lead.
Only 1 call. Was that me?
No.
Okay.
Candy.
Who did? Candy. If Candy's on here, work all 5. Work all 5. Vernalisa, where is which link? Because here's what I need to do. Campbell, 20 calls today already. My man. Now Campbell's an OG. He's in the Founders Club, etc. And he's a hustler. But I'm not sure which link you're talking about. But here's what we're going to do. We're going to start coming in for a landing here, which means I'm going to drop links in the chat so you don't get lost. Number 1, if you haven't Join the school community. That is where yesterday's replay is already available for you. It's where today's replay will be. It's where the resources from today will be. It's where the case study vault playlist will be as well. That's number one. Number two, there is still time to upgrade to VIP, and you can jump on live for day 2. You can also check out the replay of day 1's VIP hangout. We covered a whole bunch of great stuff. Number 3, the 5 free portfolio buyers from yesterday. LeadDeck.ai/buyers. LeadDeck.ai/buyers. For today, the tired landlords, 5 free tired landlords. LeadDeck.ai/sellers. LeadDeck.ai/sellers. Tomorrow, whoops, I'm still logged in. Tomorrow, let me put it in the chat again. I just want to get all the links in the chat. Tomorrow, we are going to connect the dots on what exactly does this reverse offer strategy mean and look like? How do we use it to increase the number of contracts that we're writing with buyers? And how do we increase the number of contracts that we write, listing agreements that we write with sellers? And not only that, how do we position ourselves so that we increase the likelihood that we sell the property and we sell it quickly? Ideally, in a perfect world, in one weekend, which I have had 4 listings in the last 4 weeks or 5 weeks that I've sold in a weekend using the 7-day stress-free home sale. We're going to cover that. I will provide you with a detailed case study of exactly how I took a seller from I want a cash offer to listing it, selling it in a weekend for what what was at that time like the highest price that type of property had brought in that area. We're going to unpack all of that, connect all of the dots. We're also going to make you a very special offer for those of you that have decided this obviously is a better way of doing business. I want to play the infinite game of Go Fish, and I want to play the game. I want to get, I want to jumpstart. I want to be able to shortcut my way to filling my pipeline proactively with this fisherman mentality, this 1 deal a week blueprint, and the reverse offer strategy. We've got a special offer for you. Either way, you will leave tomorrow. Either way, you will leave tomorrow and being able to do this. You'll have all 3 of the pieces. You'll have the strategy. We'll connect the dots on how we make those pivots so that when it isn't a perfect match, like the story I told yesterday of, the for sale by owner that I prospected, it was obvious. I said, this is probably perfect for Russ, who's a pocket buyer. Hey, Russ, are you interested? Yes, I'm interested. We negotiate the contract. We settled 2.5, 3 weeks later. That's the best case scenario. But if it had not worked out, what did I do? I demonstrated to the seller that I am different than everybody else who's just playing the MLS slot machine, the MLS roulette, right? Just putting in the MLS and, hope a commission comes out. No, I'm proactively solving problems because problem solvers get paid. Problem solvers get paid. And nobody gets paid without the buyer, which is why we start there on day 1. All right. If you signed up for VIP and for some reason you don't have the Zoom link, please email me directly, josh@growwithjosh.com, josh@growwithjosh.com. That VIP hangout session will start in approximately 16 minutes. What's that? Yep. And if for some reason you don't have it, let me know. Also, if for some reason you don't have access to the replays, the classroom in school, I have to do that specifically. Verna Lisa, I can't put it in the chat. I'm not going to personally, because there's too many people in the chat. Just email me, and you're in there. I'm pretty sure you got you're on the list in Zoom. But just email me because I can't go through all of them. Jackie said, do you consider fixers as portfolio buyer or only those with inventory? I don't follow the question. Consider fixers as portfolio buyers. I'm not sure exactly what you mean. Are you talking about flippers? If they have a portfolio of at least 5 properties, yes. If not, no. Right? Again, it's just our vernacular. It's our language. But if they strictly flip properties and they don't have at least 5 in their portfolio, they would not fit the portfolio buyer criteria. That doesn't mean that I wouldn't, that doesn't mean that they can't be a pocket buyer, right? I mean, if they're consistently flipping, if they're fixing and flipping 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 properties a year, I mean, that's a pocket buyer. Ken, I forgot about this one. Ken, which is another one of the case studies that I will include. It'll be a full playlist that you can go through. Ken was on a workshop like this a couple of months ago. The second portfolio buyer he called, they went and showed he left the workshop. They went and showed a property. Now, they made an offer on that property and they lost out. However, they have since bought a property, meaning like he represented him to buy a property. That guy is fixing it up and Ken will relist it on the back end. And then they're going to rinse and repeat and do it again. All because he's just playing the game. He's following the blueprint. He's playing an infinite game of Go Fish. And he's having fun along the way. At least I think he is. Because Ken seems to he seems to have a lot of fun. In a good way. In a good way. Okay. If I just want to make sure I did not miss any questions because I know I accidentally missed some from yesterday. Valentina, let me give you a more specific answer. Like I told you, I want to share this answer for everyone, which is, what is the script you use for tired landlords? Number one, the script is in there when you grab them. Hey, Valentina, it's Josh with eXp Realty. Is there any chance you consider selling your property at 123 Main Street to a private client of mine? That's it. I have a pocket buyer right now that is looking to buy 3 to 5 properties before the end of the year. I've been so busy doing this kind of stuff. I haven't been able to build the ponds, stock the ponds to go fishing for him, but you better believe I will be. And I will tell that exact story. In other words, I will call tired landlords and I will ask, hey, Sean, is there any chance, hey, Sean, it's Josh with eXp Realty. Any chance you consider selling your property at 123 Main Street to a private client of mine? His name is Sam and he's trying to buy 5 before the end of the year. Does that seem more or less realistic than if I leave that off, right? And if we start with buyers and we do the work from day one, we have those real stories that we can tell. Because stories sell. Did I say that right? What's the analogy? Facts tell, stories sell. Facts tell, stories sell.
Yeah.
Either way. Whatever. All right, I got to regroup. Before the VIP session was at the bottom of the hour. There is still time to upgrade. Shoot me an email if you did upgrade and for some reason you didn't get the invite. I think I got all the questions. If you have a question that you just aren't comfortable asking publicly, you can email me direct as well. It's josh@growwithjosh.com. You can also post it in the school community or you can DM me directly on school as well. Any and all of the above works. Tomorrow is the day where we're like getting paid. Meaning tomorrow is how like you can get sort of I'll say lucky with step 1 and 2 without the third piece. But when you have the third piece, you increase your skill level because you have better strategy to turn more of your conversations into contracts. Okay. Now, already, even if you don't come back for day 3, which you should, okay? Drop a 3 in the chat if you're going to come back for day 3. Even if you don't, you can use what we covered in day 1 and 2 to have more conversations. But with what I will dig into and will share on day 3, you'll be able to turn more of those conversations into connections, turn those connections into more contracts, and therefore increase the number of closings that you have on a consistent basis. So you can increase your compensation, your gross commission income. Giddy up. See everybody who's in the VIP in a few minutes.